The next type of geoplot is called connection map. It's also known as a network map or the flow map. It visualizes the relationships and connections between different entities or locations in the map. It represents the flow of information, goods, people, or other entities through lines or arrows connecting various points on the map or diagram. The key features here are the nodes, edges, directionality, attributes, and geographic context. So, the common use cases where we commonly use connection maps. So, it is very much useful in visualizing the transportation networks such as the airline routes, shipping lanes, or road networks. Yes, so airline routes, it's between two cities. So mark the two cities with the nodes and connect this with a edge. And if the direction is unidirection, then we can put an arrow. But if it is bidirection, we don't use any arrow. So no arrow means it is bidirectional by default. If we have an arrow, then it says that the direction is decided, and only from one city to another city it is moving. So examples like airlines, yeah, it is bidirectional, and there's some transport things. Then the transport for say oil, so it starts from the oil base and gets distributed all over the country, so it's all one direction. So here we can show this with the arrow, and this will inform many issues, many details like where the flow is originating, what is the source, and what is the destination, what is the sink, and the direction represents these details from source and sink details and all. So depending on whether there is a arrow or not, we can understand whether it is unidirectional or bidirectional. Then the next use case can be mapping migration patterns, trade flows, supply chains between different locations. Yes, so migration from which location to which location they are migrating. Yeah, again it can be unidirectional, and trade flows will be unidirectional. Supply chain can be bidirectional, and so on. So can be used for representing the communication networks such as telephone lines, internet connections, or social networks. Can be used for analyzing the spread of diseases information or idea across the geographic nations. So if we look at the past few years problem, we were all talking only about COVID-19. Then the common use case was with connection map, where we are saying that how the disease is being spread. So it started from one city of China, and then it moved to various parts of the world. From there, it moved to other parts of the neighboring parts and all that. So this whole thing we could use using the connection map. That how the disease is being spread can be very easily made available through this visualization technique called the connection map. So to ensure to get maximum benefit using the connection map, some best practices we should follow. So we should choose an appropriate layout and represent for the nodes and edges to ensure clarity and readability. So we should have a proper representation for the nodes and edges, and that will allow us to give clarity and should be easily readable by the viewer. So we must use colors, thickness, or other visual attributes to convey additional information about the connections such as volume, frequency, importance. So we can use various colors like one color for high volume, one color for low volume, like that. So or you can change the magnitude, and the magnitude changes can be represented through the thickness of the edges we are using. The more thicker means more important, less thicker is less important, more thicker is more frequent, less thicker is less frequent, more thicker is higher volume, less thicker is lower volume, and all that. So with one, just by changing color or thickness or any other visual attributes like drawing the line as a continuous line, drawing the edge as a continuous curve is one way, or putting the same thing with the dotted lines will talk another way. Then these added with colors convey one more set of information, and thickness of these lines will convey one more set of information. So the type of the edges used for showing the edges will convey one information, thickness used will convey another information, and colors used for these edges will convey one more information. So we can see that with one map, so many various informations can be made available to the viewer. Of course, labeling the nodes and edges with relevant information to provide context and facilitate interpretation is a must. So we can't skip this anywhere. Proper legends, proper titles, everything must be very clearly mentioned so that just looking at this plot, we must be able to understand the whole context, what the one is trying to explain. So must provide a clear title, legend to explain the meaning of symbols, colors, and others. So as we just discussed in the previous best practice, that various colors, various thicknesses, various types of edges can be used to represent the various situations. But just using them is not sufficient. We should provide proper legend to all these things. Only then it makes sense. Otherwise, it becomes more jumbled and cluttered, and we fail in conveying proper information to the stakeholder. So we must consider interactive features or animation to allow viewers to explore the map and interact with the data dynamically. So in the previous example, we had shown the world map and then it was static one, but if we want to make it dynamic, we can make it interactive. Just instead of having all possible things shown at one time, we can allow the user to select any one of the options, like a particular color is representing one type of information. Then if you just select one color, then only that particular thing will be made available onto the map, so that the user can only concentrate on what is interested to the user, and so on, and can select the regions, maybe whole world, maybe it country wise, maybe state wise, or depending on the interest, the zoom in, zoom out facilities can be made available to the user. So that will make the viewer understand more insight from what we are trying to provide. So that's an example of a connection map. It may be talking about, say, airlines or something. So here, curves are the edges shown here, and the ends of the curve are two nodes. So these two nodes are located geographically at different positions. So they are trying to convey which city they are talking about, and so the edge is trying to tell that if it is about the airlines, then it is trying to tell us that from which city to which city there is a airline possible. So it's only a particular, if you look at this and if you think this is for airlines, then I don't think it is trying to convey the full information. Every data may not be available, so it may be part of interactive thing. So the user might have selected a particular type of airline, a particular airline company, then so all the routes for that particular airline may be shown here, or maybe some duration might be given between this time to this time, which flights are available. So only that selected things are shown there. So here, the interactive things comes to help. So that way you can talk about which flights are available in the evening, which flights are available in the night, or which flights are available by flown by which company, or which flights are economical, which flights are having better quality. So there are so many categories we can think of, and the user is allowed to select any category of his or her interest, and then a particular map can be shown with the details on that. If you want to put everything on the same, yes, then we can have different colors for different airlines, different shapes for different shade, what you can say, types of curve for different day and night, and that way we can have many possibilities. So that's about the connection map. So there we come to end of the fourth module. The next we look into the fifth module. So keep watching. Thank you.